Hello again, it's Mr. Fox coming to you from DigiFox Labs. Today we're going to talk about a token as well as a project that maybe you should highly invest in. Now, this is not financial advice, nor are we financial advisors. Everything said here is 100% our opinion, as well as serving as a ledger or diary, navigating through all the investments, the blockchain space, star markets, everything that you could potentially invest in. It's a diary for us. So, let's get right into it, shall we? The project, as you see in front of you, is called Energy Web. It is a blockchain focused on energy grids, essentially powering the zero carbon narrative that it seems that most governments are punting to us all, right? So as we scroll through this, right, and you're wondering like, well, that's fine and dandy, you know, but is this like a greener Bitcoin? Not exactly. Is it a form of payment? Yes, very well. It very much could be, right? But what you're going to be looking at here on Energy Web is the infrastructure and the technology that they are trying to punt to the world. That's right, the world. So scrolling further down, we can see here that, again, they want to power the zero carbon economy within the world. And you see here different icons, which essentially is giving you a bit of a narrative as to how and what they are all about. Scrolling further down, you can see here that they have a, what's it called, like a hexagon with energy, decarbonization, assets, decentralized users, and digitalization. What's the mission? Well, according to them, they deploy digital operating systems for energy grids with their global community of more than 100 energy market participants. This is key. 100 energy market participants. What does that mean? Big corporations, governments. It's a fancier word. They're not going to put exactly who as far as governments are concerned, but they will definitely put market participants, I should say. The systems make it simple, secure, and efficient for clean energy assets to support the grid of the future. Again, if you are interested in Energy Web or just energy in the future and how to invest in it, this is potentially your ticket for just that. Rather than investing in oils and stocks and commodities and traditional legacy systems, this is something on the blockchain. This is something for millennials and Gen Zs, and even if you're older than that, then there you go. You're keeping up with the times. Scrolling further down, they have stories indicating how they go about doing this. You could go ahead and we'll provide a link in the description below if you want to go ahead and dive further into that specifically. Looking here, how are they going to go about doing it? Well, you have Edge Energy Demand and Generation Exchange. What is that exactly? Well, based off of what we were able to grasp from it, you have this house, right? So houses will have solar panels, at least some of them. You will partake in the Energy Web Foundations. Yes, they also have a foundation. You'll partake in their infrastructure. So they will be essentially in the background. You're not going to know. So you pay your bill, your electric bill, to a company. This company very well may be part of the Energy Web protocol. At which point then they pay you for your solar panels, or you get a credit, whether it be a social credit or actual monetary credits of some sort. That's how you're helping this infrastructure build, right? You're contributing. Add this with the hundreds or millions of houses that do the same thing. That's how they have a grid. And they could cross-border all these grids, right? For those that partake in this infrastructure. Energy Web Zero, it's an open source tool for purchasing renewables and carbon removal. So essentially they're creating a marketplace for businesses and individuals that are interested in removing carbon through the world using this protocol. And then you have e-mobility, right? It's an open platform for exchange of trusted data and services between electric vehicles, charging stations, and grid operations. There is a rumor as well as speculation that Energy Web will partake in the whole electric vehicle movement, offering a grid, if you will, for paying for your electricity or even getting credits for your electricity. How are they going to go about doing that? It's above the scope of practice here at DigiFox, and we don't really know yet. But it's essentially they're trying to incorporate everything, like absolutely everything. And so you see here the projects. They have 50 projects in 25 countries with 100 plus partners, which we indicated earlier on. Scrolling further down, you see some of the individuals they are willing to shield out there, right? They have Google, they have XRP, which is also Ripple, Then they have Volkswagen, Protocol Labs, Filecoin, Dutch Energy, Vodafone. They have many companies that are involved in. Some of these are high rollers, right? And so you're wondering, well, so what? Ripple's involved. So for those of you that are interested in XRP and Ripple and all that narrative, here you go. They're part of it. So for those of you that think that Ripple's not a good investment because of the SEC case, you may want to rethink that. Not financial advice. So looking here, that's an article published 2 years ago, okay, on the altcoinbuzz.io. We scrolled down on the article, which they did on Energy Web back when it was back when it was $12, and they gave an interesting list of partnerships. And scrolling further down, once we could find it, right? Now, keep in mind, this is 2 years ago. We all damn well know there's going to be more partnerships that have accumulated since then. So let's read some of these off, right? Blockchain Capital, it's a VC firm. Duke Energy, one of the biggest energy producers in North America, or even the globe for that matter. And yes, they are in oil, they are in fracking, they are in different energy creating businesses. You have Eneco, another energy company. Electron, another one. General Electric, a legacy energy company, and as well as just creating all kinds of stuff, right? They got their finger in pretty much everything, don't they? And some of these I'm skipping because I've never heard of them. And but if you have, then by all means, chime in the comment section below. Shell, Total, Radical Impact, SB Energy, Sempra Energy, Siemens, right there. Wirepass, and Tenaska. Those are the ones that we are familiar with here at DigiFox Labs. Shizen Energy is another one. So as you can see here, this is quite a bit. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going across, and roughly about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They have listed right here from 2 years ago 72 partners, not including some of the ones we initially stated earlier, such as Google and Ripple, right? They're not on this list. So clearly they have more partners that they are not disclosing. And honestly, if you've got partners with energy, you're going to have partnerships with some governments around the world, are you not? We all know that. So what do they do exactly? Energy Web Token. So, or just Energy Web Protocol. The Energy Web Stack is a suite of open source tools built on top of the Energy Web chain, the world's first public enterprise grade blockchain tailored to the energy sector. So think of it as an ETF for blockchain users, essentially, right? What projects do they have? Well, here they state they got 46 projects in 21 countries with 41 partners. So this has not been updated. This probably was 4 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago. So as you can see, they're making massive moves. This is an essay of case studies. We're not going to get into that. You could go ahead and do that on your own time. We'll provide a link in the description below. And R&D. So they currently have an R&D essentially creating innovations in decentralized technology, which is great, really. Going to the increased revenue from EVs and charges, going into the whole EV sector that we talked about earlier. This is something that we are speculating on, that they're going to have huge impacts with the EV market. Who's not to say that you could pay for your energy with Energy Web Token? You know, who's not to say that you could go ahead and pay for your electricity with Energy Web Token? As it is already, based off our little fantastic intro that we had earlier on, you could stake. You could get, what was it, 20% APY for something that has 100% global fundamentals. I mean, come on now. Come on. So let's get all to the nitty gritty and what you all really came here to learn, right? The price and speculation of where to go. Looking at CoinGecko, it's currently trading at $10.40. Energy Web Token, EWT is the ticker. Market cap is $400 million. Think about that for a minute. The energy token, which has a monopoly essentially on the blockchain with the energy sector, is 400 million. I highly doubt that. Like, seriously, the energy sector is, let's just call it trillions. Let's just call it trillions. So even if it's just like a couple of percentages of whatever it is currently, the energy sector, you're looking at a multi-billion-dollar market cap. So there's much room for growth. And then look at the fully diluted valuation. It's already at $1 billion. So just to match the fully dilution, you're looking at a 1x right here. You're looking at 100%, double your money if you get in right now. And in fact, maybe even more. So circulating supply is 40 million with a max supply of 100 million. So I'm assuming those are all locked up, right? As far as the total supply and max supply, right? So what was it earlier on? So it's actually been ranging in a range between $10 and $20. All-time high was $22. So it is currently 54% off as all-time highs. So quite the discount right now. So essentially, if you buy in now, it's going to reach all-time highs again. It's the energy sector, for crying out loud, you know. So you're definitely going to make 54%. Simple as that, right? Simple as that. Now, if you're in it for the long term meaning going up to below off top, okay? Long term meaning beyond that, holding through a bear market, meaning you're going to put in some money and forget it even existed. Make sure you write down your bloody keys, though. Come on now. Where do we see this going? Honestly, because of the utility and energy, everyone needs energy. And it's got a max supply of 100 million tokens. That's it. 100 million. Go to BNB. I encourage you to go to BNB. It's got a max supply of 168 billion tokens. They're not in the energy sector. Yes, they are a centralized coin, right? But they have 88 billion. 88 billion is the market cap. And the price is 527 as of this recording. Look what BNB did. Look at this. For roughly, okay, let's see here. Since February 2019, it was $10 and it peaked at $30 and it stayed within that range for a year and a half. And then it took off in the span of 3 months to $600. It's just the blockchain, lads and lasses. That's all it is. With more tokens than Energy Web token. Not to mention all of them are currently in circulation. Energy Web, only half, with most of them locked up. Not to mention the max supply is still less than Binance Coin. This, if you get in right now, is a 100x coin. It will be $1,000. Bookmark this channel, bookmark this video. I can promise you it will be $1,000. When exactly? Like I said, in the long term. What is long term? Well, in the crypto space, you're looking at about 4 or 5 years, right? Maybe less. In the stock market world, you're looking at 10, 15 years. So how much would you need to make 6 figures, right? Now, everyone wants to be a millionaire, but let's be realistic. 6 figures. Let's get out the handy dandy calculator. And let's say you need 100 of these, okay? Get to 100. You times it by the current price. $1,000. $1,000. You could turn $1,000 into 100 grand in roughly 5 to 6 years. Simple. Now, some of us don't have $1,000 because honestly, that's a lot of money, especially in these times. So let's just say you can afford 10 of them. You get 10 coins. Current price, $10.40. That's $100. If it 100x's, that's 10 grand. Not to mention, Energy Web token has staking. That's why I say buy it and forget about it. You're going to get 20% compounded paid to you, not in cash, but in your token. 20% yearly. So 5 years. In 5 years, who knows what that's going to be? Well, I mean, look, I'm not a mathematician, right? But just 20% APY yearly on tokens that could potentially be $1,000. Potentially, you know what? I'm going to just say it right now. We're not a financial advisor here, but it's going to be $1,000. So imagine having 100 grand in these tokens that you bought right now. 100 grand, right? 20% APY. Let's times it by 20%. Divide it by 100. That's 20 grand a year for doing nothing. 20 grand a year. Okay, so let's say you didn't invest $1,000 because you didn't have it. Okay, so then what? That leaves you with what I say, 10 grand? Okay, let's do 10 grand then. Let's say because times were rough today, 10 grand. Times it by 20 because it's 20% APY. Divided by 100. That's $2,000 a year for holding on to your Energy Web token. And that is a simple mathematical equation. That's not including the compoundedness over the past 5 years. This is some serious alpha. This right here, ladies and gents, is going to be this. Tell me I'm wrong. Again, not financial advice. Happy days, happy trading, and good luck to you all.